It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, it'll be the San Antonio Spurs up against the Dallas Mavericks. For Dallas, they don't want to disappoint the hometown fans, but they'll have their hands full taking on one of the top teams in the league. We'll see if they can get it done. And Kenny, we have lots to talk about. One thing coming up on the horizon, the trade deadline. Front offices have had time to evaluate rosters. What are your feelings about blockbuster in-season trades?
Huge deals are rare in the season, man. You know, huge deals. You know, but typically they come in the offseason because teams have time to nurture and bring them together. But there have been some great trades in mid-season. So you can find new life right after the trade deadline, a la Clyde Drexler of the Houston Rockets, to get us our second championship.
Good point. New players would be slow to acclimate. But, I think at times you risk disrupting chemistry.
Sometimes worth the risk and sometimes not.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like a nut, sometimes I don't.
Kevin Harlan, take it away.
The crowd is assembled at the American Airlines Center looking for a Mavericks win here in downtown Dallas. I'm Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, our terrific analysts, and David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. Looking at San Antonio, they took the win in their last game against the Suns in Phoenix.
And anytime you come off the bench, you know your role, and that night it was about scoring.
Well, good collective team unity, everyone pitching in, so trying to win for one another. That's a good thing.
And it's going to be San Antonio off the tip. And the starting group for the Spurs. Aldridge is at the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Hill's out there with Murray. And it's Leonard in at the 3 slot.
And how about the execution on that play? The screen was set up in exactly the right spot.
And the finish wasn't too bad either.
Yeah, it's funny how you see so many picks, but this one sets up the defense well. No one rotates over. Bang.
It's deflected. Now here's Murray. Obviously, two teams, same conference, lots of history between them. Should be a good one. Brent, who are some of your favorite rivals to compete against?
You know, just growing up around the game of basketball, Kevin, for me to step on the floor against the jerseys, maybe not so much about the player that's in the jersey, but to see Lakers in purple or to see Celtics in green, that to me got my juices flowing. And then, obviously, selfishly, anytime I had the opportunity to play against my brother John, oh boy, I was ready to go.
You loved it. Yeah, you savored that. I love that answer, by the way. Playing the team, not necessarily the individual. And that one's good by Aldridge. The Mavericks have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Nowitzki a screen. Barnes kicks to Matthews. A rebound by the Spurs.
Yeah, they're a little bit cold here. 0 for 4 to get this one going.
Aldridge with a screen on Matthews. There's the dish to Gasol. Pass to Aldridge. And the officials call a traveling violation. Here's Smith. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Timberwolves in Minneapolis. Outside Matthews. Nowitzki a screen. Matthews into the lane. After 2 misses to start the game, he's on the board with that shot made.
And off the schneid here, 1 of 5, but that's a big one.
San Antonio with the ball. Mills with it. 11 points for him in that last game against Phoenix. Passes it to Aldridge. And that one comes up a bit short.
Pretty surprised he missed that shot. The defense was decent, but not really a factor.
Matthews with it. Leonard picks him up. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. So for Dallas, their last game, a loss to the Timberwolves in Minnesota.
Yeah, and in a hostile environment, they did not rise to the occasion, especially on the defensive side.
Yeah, it felt like they were teenagers during the summer. Low levels of activity, allowed too many good looks. It's just not their night.
That's a talented guy getting too easy a look. Might have been a miscommunication on that one.
Well, just the first quarter, everyone's still getting adjusted. That said, on defense, you have to bring help sooner.
Barnes can't get it to go. Spurs leading by 4. Leonard, no luck.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Count the basket.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Now here's Mills. He's covered by Matthews. Here's Murray. That one falls. His second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3.
Well, you love the fearless, aggressive attitude. Doesn't let size matter.
Well, he also has that innate ability to just create enough separation. That's a nice move.
And that one's good. Noel.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
And Mills kicks to Aldridge. Releases. And it's Noel with the rebound.
And I know we want to assume these shots are going in. The defense definitely blew an assignment there, but still got lucky.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
And here's Mills for 3. No good that time. Now the Mavericks take it the other way. Now we'll go to David Aldridge, who had a chance to talk with head coach Greg Popovich.
Well, Kevin, I asked him what the strategy was offensively, and he said, look, we want to avoid having to take so many outside shots. They want to exploit what he described as a mismatch inside. He said, we have the talent down low to make things very difficult on those guys, and we're going to use it. Kevin?
All right, David, thanks. Now, here's Smith. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. So many great point guards in this year's draft. Greg, what stands out to you about North Carolina State's Dennis Smith?
Well, I think he's the best athlete of them all. A terror off the bounce, great toughness, and he's drawn some comparison to Stevie Francis when you talk about his bounce and physicality.
2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good.
And Dennis Smith Jr., the 9th overall pick in this year's draft, but voted by his fellow rookies as the favorite to win Rookie of the Year. The Mavericks giving him every opportunity as their point guard of the future.
That one drops. He ties it up.
And Dennis Smith, guys, get this, measured a 48-inch vertical, which would tie him for the best in NBA history. He's a perfect fit for the Mavericks, who were in desperate need of some star power and athleticism.
And Kawhi Leonard, just the second perimeter player in league history to win back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year awards.
And he joined, of course, the great Milwaukee Buck, Sidney Moncrief, in doing that. And it's an award that we know usually goes to a big man who's down there protecting the rim and shoring up any defense. Kawhi Leonard does it everywhere on the floor, and it's amazing to watch opposing offenses try to strategize against where it is Kawhi Leonard might be defensively.
Free throw drops for Leonard.
Getting to the foul line more and more these days. Kawhi has become the complete package.
That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2. Hey, Brent, the season about halfway through. Some teams really starting to sag. How bad do you have to be at this point to start thinking about rebuilding going into next year?
Well, I don't know. It's a bit tenuous, Kevin. Do you start talking about rebuilding or just giving guys on your roster now an opportunity to experience some NBA play, giving them high-level competition? You know, some of the players may be going to Summer League. They want to have a bit of confidence going to Vegas or to Orlando to expand their game. So maybe not so much about a rebuild as it is about gaining experience at the close of the season.
Just 4 to shoot. Puts it up from 12. Second chance shot. And Gasol with the lay-in.
I mean, is it fair that Pau Gasol could stand on one block and rebound on the other? That's some length.
There's a screen by Noel. Smith kicks to Matthews. And it's Matthews with the jam.
And the definition of teamwork right there on that alley-oop.
And Greg, what about the finish? Bringing it down with some thunder. Yeah. It was beautiful the first time, but Under Armour showing us the replay of that tremendous alley-oop again. Another unleash chaos moment. Now here is Aldridge. 9 points last game out. Nice D from Nowitzki.
And lots of credit for the team around him. They're picking up the slack here tonight. He just can't buy a bucket right now.
And that's what you want in transition, a high percentage opportunity.
The story is true. And here the defense does a very poor job of matching up.
Now here's Murray. Right now averaging about 5 points a game. And it goes out of bounds. That one is off Smith. Just a moment to look back at how things were last season for this team as we look at the shot breakdown for the Mavericks.
And they really based almost their entire offense around the three-point shot. Spread the floor, space the defense, and if the deep shots aren't falling, at least it should open things up inside.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Powell, he's checked in for Nowitzki. Curry comes in for Wesley Matthews. And Barea subbed in for Smith. Aldridge. And that one goes long. The Mavericks leading. Barnes outside. Curry dishes to Barnes. Dallas moving it around. Powell kicks to Barnes. No good there. Great D that time from Leonard. Parker outside. He dishes it to Gasol. And he gets the bucket. And the Spurs lead by 1.
Yeah, and that's what you want from your point guard. Parker distributing the ball wonderfully on that possession.
From deep, Barea. They grab their own miss. Great positioning on the putback.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
The Spurs shooting just 35% to start the game. Aldridge a screen. Parker kicks to Leonard. And it's good on the assist by Parker.
Whipping off the screen there like a tiger, Leonard creates enough space to get the shot off that he wants.
And here's Barea. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Minnesota. Powell, the pass to Barnes. He feeds it to Curry. Here's Powell. Some solid defense from Aldridge.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Just a lightning bolt there in transition. No one can match up with Kawhi, especially at his position. That time they paid a price.
Here's Curry. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. Powell dishes to Barnes. Shot clock at 6. And Noel kicks to Curry. In transition, here come the Spurs. Here's Mills. That's tipped. Here's the break. And Noel gets it to go on the assist by Barea. And it's 6 points for Nerlens Noel. Now here's Mills. G right on him. The pass to Parker. Aldridge a screen. Parker outside. Turn around Jay. Nice spin off the left rim and in. 6 points for Aldridge.
That's where Aldridge burns defenses repeatedly. His mid-range game is so advanced and so polished, evidenced by that shot there.
Now here's Barea. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Curry. Barea against Parker. Barea, no good.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
Parker against Barea, and stolen by Noel. On its way from Curry for 2, and they cash in right away with the quick shot. San Antonio leading. For the Mavericks, 16 consecutive years of 500 basketball or better. Coming to an end last season, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, it was the beginning of a rebuild. The first time in a long time for the Mavs. And they waived some of their veterans to free up space and court time to further develop those young players. And with how competitive this organization is, you know they'll do everything they can to get back in contention to try to send Dirk out on a high note.
Measury, he's checked in for Dallas. Doug McDermott comes in for Harrison Barnes. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Laverne, he's checked in for Gasol. Gay comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Anderson, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Green in for Patty Mills. Now Parker following Rudy Gay's three-point attempt. Curry with the steal, and out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession. Now let's go to the 2K leaderboard to look at the teams that specialize in intimidation. Number 5, the Spurs.
I mean, terrific rim protection. I mean, they rotate and help on the inside as well as anybody. And, of course, you want to keep offenses on the outside shooting jump shots, and that continues to be the goal.
Now here's Gay. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game. Can't connect from 13 feet out.
I'm just wondering why the defense is laying off. Luckily, they didn't pay for their mistake.
Deflects the pass. Oh, and here comes Anderson all alone. Drops in the breakaway layup.
Anderson, he excels when he plays in the open court like that and has a chance to make a good decision.
Outside Curry. They set the screen. Measuring with it. Gay picks him up defensively. Some nice passing here by Dallas. 5 to shoot. McDermott passes to Barea. Dallas again missing.
Not a lot of defense there. You can't afford to let guys shoot freely from the mid-range. You're not going to miss those all that often.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
You hear a lot about rim protection. This is a good example of how valuable it can be.
Another miss by Barea.
Yeah, his shot just doesn't seem to be synced up right now. Here's hoping he finds it soon because his team is really going to need that production tonight.
He gets right to the rim, but the defense there to deter him.
For San Antonio, they have converted 1 of 2 free throws so far today. The first one falls.
Tough to match up with Kyle Anderson because of how quirky he plays. Changing speeds, plays slow, but sees the floor remarkably well.
He's off on the second. Now Barea looking for his first basket still in this one. And we reached the end of the first quarter. Spurs lead by 5. And we'll get going after this from the American Airlines Center. And a chance to hear from Tony Parker, who said he lives for the challenge of continuing to improve.
I always try to improve and get better, and Pop always challenged me. He came to me and he said, you know, good players, they can have a great season, but the great players, they have many great seasons. So he said, what you want to be?
And in Tony Parker's case, great is what he wanted to be and has been for a long time.
You know, that's great because that shows Pops and why he's one of the best in the game. You got to be able to drive and motivate and also give the confidence. And that's what's happened with Tony Parker. Remember when he first came on the scene, it was not a cakewalk for him. He had his struggles, and now we're talking about a guy who's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And looking at what we've seen from the Spurs so far, guys, what do you think?
A huge fan of how they have rotated here defensively, been able to challenge multiple shots.
And if you're rotating like that, it's got to be a great line of communication between all 5 guys. You see that reflected on the scores, all that trust showing up with the lead.
J.J. Barea is out there with Curry. Then it's McDermott. Then there's Dwight Powell, and it's Mejri in at the center, locking down the middle. So that's who Dallas starts the second with. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, Rick Carlisle is one of the most respected head coaches in the league, especially for his X's and O's. But Bucks coach Jason Kidd, who played for Carlisle, praised his disposition. He's never up and never down, Kidd said. There's no panic in him. He gives you that sense of security to go out there and make a play. Kevin?
Gotta love Coach Carlisle, D.A., an even-keel guy who places a lot of trust in his players. 6 to shoot. And it's Laverne missing. The Mavericks trailer. Barea dishes to Powell. Back to Barea. In the corner, it's McDermott. And that misses. That would have put him up. San Antonio with the ball. Last time they met was in San Antonio.
And in part because I just thought they came out flat in that game and could never recover. Just not their best effort.
You could see the coach trying a few different rotations in that game, shaking things up, trying to get something going, but nothing was working.
Before his injury, Rudy Gay had made some strides on the defensive end. In general, Greg, he doesn't get enough credit sometimes for his impact on that side of the ball.
Yeah, Gay has always been a great ball hawk. I mean, he's got long arms to pick off lazy passes. He gets a good amount of blocks for a wing player as well. Very much so underrated when you talk about his defense.
Here's Mejri after Rudy Gay's bucket. Curry kicks to Barea. Green against Curry. It's good. Great play set up by Barea. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Feeds it to Laverne. Green kicks to Gay. There's a screen. Fires at the elbow. No good off the front iron.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
McDermott with it, working on Anderson. Here's Curry, and it's Dallas with another. Guys back and forth this first half.
And this could continue to go back and forth the entire way.
Gay outside. Off the screen. Oh!
No doubt.
You got to love watching Gay just soar through the air. An amazing dunker who just relishes these opportunities.
Now here's Barea. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Here's Curry. Green with the rebound. For San Antonio, they've gone 2 of 6 from the field in the second quarter so far. Parker's shot is off.
Well, I like the shot selection. I don't like the shot result. Won't happen much.
And the dunk by Powell.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball. San Antonio trailing here. Parker kicks to Laverne. Now the feed to Parker. Parker double teamed. It's stolen by Barea. He lobs it up. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. And Seth Curry is going to pick up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. A different look for Dallas. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Powell. Matthews comes in for Seth Curry. And Smith subbed in for J.J. Barea. And San Antonio also making a switch. Murray's checked in. Now here's Anderson. Taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now he averages about 9 points a game.
Anderson has great vision as a point forward. Exceptional court awareness.
Here is Matthews. Nowitzki a screen. There's a good screen. Here's McDermott. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, you knew that Doug McDermott was going to be a classic shooter when he came into the league with all those points he racked up at Creighton University. A great shooting motion, a high, quick release. And I'm just impressed with the range that he's able to fire from. Sometimes 4 or 5 feet from behind the line. No problem from Dougie McBuckets.
Shooting 2.
The free throw drops from McDermott. And Brent with McDermott, he does have great range. It's something that defenders have to respect and is opening up more for him.
And the idea for McDermott is you cannot be a one-trick pony in this league, Kevin. So getting more comfortable at times, maybe playing with the back to the basket, moving off of screens, maybe cutting around defenders. He's going to have to show some more versatility in his offensive game to stick around.
As we've seen, many teams play a little bit of a soft zone defensively. What's the best way, you think, Brent, to counteract that when you're trying to run your half-court offense?
Well, the best way to counteract anybody who's softening up on the backside of the zone is to overload that side of the court, Kevin. So now all of a sudden, if you make a shift with more players on one side of the floor, there's no way for 3 to cover 2 on the backside. That's where teams can gain incredible advantage.
A different look for Dallas. Noel's checked in for Measury, and it's Barnes in for McDermott. San Antonio also making some changes. Marcus Aldridge is checked in for Laverne. Leonard comes in for Anderson, and it's Mills in for Green. Aldridge a screen. There's the pick. Gay kicks to Mills. And there's the defensive 3-second call. For San Antonio, they have made 2 and missed 2 at the line tonight.
One shot.
And so he hits the technical free throw. And the Spurs got Kawhi Leonard to be the next Bruce Bowen. But from his rookie season, I think Pop realized, Brent, he could be the face of the franchise.
Well, it's amazing that they had talked with that kind of regard for Kawhi Leonard after making the draft day trade and sending away George Hill. They felt like Kawhi Leonard could make that kind of progression. Now, I would also tell you that they had no idea he would become one of the more devastating players on the offensive end of the floor. But the work ethic was there, the size was there, and the fruits of the labor are paying off.
LaMarcus Aldridge standing 6'11", tall for the power forward position.
Well, he's got the size advantage on most defenders and a devastating ability to shoot a turnaround jumper, especially over the left shoulder from the mid-range. So a great and capable scorer.
Free throw good from Aldridge.
Do a deep dive into LaMarcus Aldridge's career numbers. He is just one of the best big men shooting the basketball, especially from the mid-range, with incredible consistency. He can hurt you from all over the floor, but especially from around the 15-foot mark. That is his bread and butter.
And the Spurs with possession here. The Mavericks making the shot. Leonard, down it goes, his third basket. He's now 3 for 4.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Smith outside, inside. Here's Nowitzki. Kawhi Leonard with the rebound. And the mid-range jumper, not usually a recipe for efficiency. Brent, you think the Spurs want Aldridge to take a step back and take more threes?
Well, last season he shot over 40% from the three-point line, and I think that the big guys stepping out to the corner is something that a lot of offenses look to. He didn't take a ton of threes, but when he did, he'd knock him down.
Spurs leading by 3. Here's Gay. It's good for his 4th bucket of the night. He's shooting 4 of 8.
You know, he didn't score the ball much in the first quarter, but he has been really, really solid during the second quarter. I expect a big game from him now.
Now here's Barnes. Scoring-wise, he's definitely making his mark. Right now, he's averaging about 19 points a game. And Noel kicks to Barnes. Just 5 on the clock. Count that one. Barnes has got 6 points.
And that's about as easy as it gets. Not many guys are going to blow wide open layups at the professional level like that.
Murray the pass to Gay. The shot, no good. Now Dallas takes it the other way. Here's Smith. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And Harrison Barnes, just a tremendous athlete at that small forward position. I think his strength enables him to guard up and hold his own against power forwards, and coaches love that versatility.
Shooting 2.
The first free throw is good. And Greg, you look at the versatility of Barnes. He can defend, I think, 3 positions.
And that's what the league is all about now. Switching on picks, much more popular. And with an all-around solid defender like Barnes, it doesn't uncover mismatches.
Pau Gasol, he's checked in for the Spurs. That's also good. So he hits both free throws.
And how about the confidence that Smith plays the game with? He knows he's not the biggest guy out there, but that doesn't stop him from being the most aggressive.
Now here's Leonard. A 32-point game for him in the win against Phoenix. Here's Aldridge. He gets that one to drop. He's now 5 of 12.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Smith on the wing. He's covered by Murray. There's a screen by Noel. Barnes can't get it to go. Spurs leading by 3. Here's Mills. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Here's Aldridge. And it's sent back by Nowitzki. Now here's Matthews. Here's Barnes. Back to Matthews. Leonard with the steal. Here's Murray. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. Here's Matthews. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Smith's got 4 assists in the game. Pass to Murray. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Murray. Jumper off the screen. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Murray's got 6 points.
Effective and fundamental basketball there. That's Aldridge. Sets the solid screen to free up his teammate.
Smith dishes to Noel. They set the screen. Tries from 10. LaMarcus Aldridge grabs the miss. Aldridge has got rebound number 5 here tonight.
Well, he's gotten shots up, but they're not finding the rim. The squad's suffering because of it right now. A bit out of rhythm.
Now here's Mills. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. 5 on the clock. Leonard draws the double over Barnes. Dirk Nowitzki with the rebound. Nowitzki's got his 4th rebound in this one. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket. Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Here's Mills after Wesley Matthews' score. Aldridge a screen. Off the screen, Leonard with the bucket. Leonard's got 5 points in the quarter.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
Smith on the wing. He's covered by Murray. Smith kicks to Noel. A rebound by Gasol. Spurs leading by 3. Here's Aldridge. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. He's got 13.
Yeah, he can have this kind of output, putting on a one-man show. Aldridge scoring whenever he wants.
There's a screen by Noel. Smith for 3. A rebound by the Spurs. Aldridge has got 6 rebounds in the game. And finished off by Leonard.
And at full speed, he still has the wherewithal to get himself in good position.
Yeah, the snap decisions right there, reading the situation on the move and then making the right choice.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg. Up and in on the layup. Leonard's got the lead up to 7 now for the Spurs.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
There's a screen by Noel. Barnes right side. The kick out to Matthews. Drills it from outside. Matthews has got 11 points.
Now you could just tell in his gait and in the look on his face, he's in a great rhythm after a terrific first quarter. He is feeling it here in the second.
Aldridge's shot is good.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
There's 18 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Smith with it. He's been playing a big part of their offensive scheme, averaging around 15.5 points a game. Shot is good, and the Spurs lead is cut back down now to 4 on the bucket from Nowitzki. Here's Leonard. Lays it up off the glass.
Just one of those insane nights for Leonard, putting on a one-man show offensively.
Kawhi Leonard has been on display for the San Antonio Spurs. He comes away with 11 points in the quarter and is showing no signs of fatigue. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks so much. Kawhi, you seem to be so at ease out there. How much is that helping your game?
It's helping me out a lot. Just coming in the game relaxed, just with more intensity. I mean, my teammates start getting me involved on the offensive end. I'm playing great on defense. We just got to keep it up second half and not let it up.
Hey, Kawhi, thank you very much for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
We so hope you enjoyed our first half. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. This is the halftime report. Kawhi Leonard is having one of those nights. He ended up with 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 steal. Coming off a great performance last game, tonight he looked like he had that same aggressive mindset. Kenny, what was your take on San Antonio?
Well, Kawhi Leonard, he went off. And what's really impressing me is how effortless it looks. He's reached that elite skill level to where every move he makes looks like money. Maybe the best defensive player in the league, he can now dictate the game on the offensive end.
And Shaq, what did you see from Dallas?
Well, if you can't shoot the ball, you might want to stop chucking it up. They keep trying the three, but it's not going down. They're relying too much on the three ball. Way too much. It's good when it's falling for you, but when it's not, you have to try something else.
So that'll do it for now as we send you courtside with Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K crew for the start of the second half.
The skyline of Dallas illuminating the night sky as we welcome you back to the Lone Star State. And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first two quarters. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
Yeah, good things happen when you maintain composure. Their shot selection has been extremely disciplined.
Hey, Greg, is there a shot that he's taken that has been out of the flow of the offense? I don't think so.
And here's Smith on the court right now for the Spurs. Aldridge and Kawhi Leonard, the two stars at the forward spots. Murray out there with Mills, and it's Gasol and at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
And the Spurs last season, how about setting the all-time record for consecutive winning seasons with 20? This is a group that's won 50 or more games in every one of those seasons except the strike-shortened one in '99.
Here's Smith. After the basket by San Antonio. Leonard with the steal. Releases. The offensive rebound.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 coming from inside the paint.
Smith outside. He kicks to Barnes. The rebound by the Spurs. Gasol's got his 7th rebound here tonight. To the left side wing. And Mills kicks to Gasol. Here's Aldridge. 18 feet away, and he knocks it down. And now it's a 12-point Spurs lead.
In the mid-range, rarely the hallmark of efficiency in today's NBA, but it is on point tonight.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Kawhi Leonard has become a go-to scorer, but his focus still starts at the defensive end. He said, my mindset is the same every game. Whoever I'm playing against, I go in and try to stop their best scorer and then try to get myself going on the offensive end. Kevin?
And David, that's what you get with Kawhi. Mr. Consistency, one of the best two-way players in the game. Smith, the pass to Nowitzki. Kicks to Noel. Wants to get it to Matthews and does. Clock at 6. Count it. Matthews has got 13.
I really like the awareness, noticing that he's got the mismatch, and then he just used his size as his advantage on the layup.
And Mills kicks to Aldridge. Tipped away and stolen by Noel. Smith dishes to Noel. Smith the pass to Barnes. Pass to Noel. The kick out to Barnes. Dallas needs to get off a shot. Matthews into the lane. The rebound by the Spurs. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash-mouth physical basketball, guys.
And for the Mavericks, clearly the rebuild, Greg, has begun.
Yeah, but they made good use of their picks. They brought in more youth and signed their building blocks. Franchise isn't used to rebuilding, but they are approaching it, I think, the right way.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Measury, he's checked in for Nowitzki. McDermott comes in for Barnes. And Barea subbed in for Smith. Ray, you played all 4 years in college after redshirting your freshman season. What kind of advantage, as you look back on that, do you think it gave you, if any, in preparing for the pressures and the style of the NBA?
I don't know so much, Kevin, if it gave me an advantage with regards to the pressures of the league, but certainly with regards to the physicality of the league, it's something that I desperately needed. Just a late developer, a late bloomer. I think I was about 175 pounds when I went off to college. Not a preferential playing weight for the NBA. So I needed that year just in terms of the maturity of what I needed physically.
Now here's Barea. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Goes up on the wing, and the jumper is good. Now Murray. 11 points in the game. Anderson the screen. Inside. Here's Laverne. And the rejection by Noel. And he recovers it. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Barea kicks to McDermott. Back to Barea. To the wing on the left. A 3-ball. Shot clock at 6. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. And a look here at the shot chart for the Spurs.
And when you come into a game with the mindset of going right at the rim and not settling for outside shots, this is what your shot chart will look like. Every chance they've had to either attack the paint or play back to the basket, they've taken it. And it's been a complete success thus far.
Laverne passes to Anderson. Spurs passing it around. Murray kicks to Anderson. And he lays it straight in. Anderson's got his second bucket of the night.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
McDermott crafty when it comes to scoring inside, uses that quick trigger release close to the basket.
Green against Matthews. There's the pick. Gay with it. He's against Measury. No good from Gay. Mavericks trail by 12. Matthews left side. Puts up a 3, and that's good. J.J. Barea for 3. Barea's got 5.
Wow, something's brewing, guys. The three-pointers just continue to flow.
Gay outside. They get it again. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. And the Spurs lead by 11.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
There's a screen by Noel. To the paint. The jump hook. And the Mavericks getting another bucket right there.
This is where you want the shots to come from. Deep inside the paint and high percentage opportunities.
Out of bounds. Dallas takes possession.
Yeah, that's just not a good pass. I don't know what he's thinking there. A poor decision.
Seth Curry, he's checked in for Matthews. And San Antonio with the change here too. Parker's checked in for Murray. Noel, a screen on Parker. Barea kicks to Noel. And slam dunk by Noel.
And that's such solid, fundamental basketball on display right there, guys.
You talk about it all the time, Greg. Yeah, great use of the pick to set up the dunk.
Well, that's a play that only works by practicing over and over and having a great rhythm with your teammate. You could see the timing there.
And the rejection by Noel. Mavericks trail by 7. Barea kicks to Measury. In the corner, it's McDermott. Jacks up a 3. A shot, no good. Now San Antonio takes it the other way. They've led by as many as 14 points. Dishes it to Parker. Gay with no one around. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
Yeah, another missed opportunity, and you can just see the frustration.
Yeah, when your shot's in the fridge like this, it's easy to lose your confidence, and that's why some of the most prolific scorers, they have short-term memories.
Spurs leading by 7. And Nerlens Noel out of Kentucky, slender and mobile and long. And Greg, he can cover ground in a hurry.
Boy, and you can see it in his rate of steals to go along with the blocks. That quickness is a huge asset in today's game. It's all about versatility, both offensively and defensively.
Now, here's Parker. After the miss from Doug McDermott. Screened by Parker. Laverne with the ball. He's against measuring. Green inside the three-point line. Tries to save it, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Green. Dallas making a switch here. Powell's checked in. Mavericks trail by 7. Powell with the screen. Barea kicks to Powell. Here's Gay. 8 points for him. Down low, shot to stop the drought, and then Gay with the dunk.
And Gay isn't easy to tie up, using his length and muscle to kind of power through the defense. And when you watch Rudy Gay out there on the court, you see just why he's always been a solid scorer in our league. I mean, any situation, any type of offense, he can find a way to get points, and really one of the more underrated players we have in our league.
And with Rudy Gay, scoring, Greg, has never been a problem for him, has pretty much had the same level of production his entire career.
Yeah, and if you say that about some players, it's considered an insult, but it's a good thing for Gay. Usually we'll shoot in the mid-40s for this field goal percentage, and solid at that small forward position. Also a great ISO game. And I like this timeout. You're getting terrible rim protection right now.
Well, you got to ask your team to give you a little bit more effort because there's just not a lot of fire on the defensive end.
Mavericks trail by 10. Now here's Barea. He has 5. There's the dish to Powell. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's going to be on Rudy Gay. And Dwight Powell played all 4 seasons at Stanford for the Cardinal. Still filling out his frame.
He is, and you know, the knock on Powell was that he wasn't tough enough to battle inside at this level. But guy is a worker, basically sleeping in the gym, and with his length and athleticism, he's starting to figure it out.
That free throw, no good. He hits the second from the line. Over the past couple years, Brent, we've seen coaches like Steve Kerr and Brad Stevens take more of an even-tempered approach. Could that become a coaching trend going forward?
Well, I like that both Steve and Brad have some very good players. That would keep me calm too, Kevin.
Yes, it would. You begin right there. I agree.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a shift in what it is that the generation of the younger players has grown up with. And coaches that have the ability to communicate always, Kevin, are going to come out on top. They get their message through, they keep their team positive, and they keep their environment pointed in the direction that is moving forward.
Excellent. The first one falls.
That's a good stroke by McDermott, looking to find opportunities like that. He has limitless range.
And McDermott drops them both. And for the Spurs last season, falling short of their goal of winning another title. But Greg Popovich, Brent, still called it a great season.
Well, they had their second most wins ever under Pop last year. 7 new players to integrate in the first year without rock-solid, steady force Tim Duncan down there on the low block. They did have some injuries late down the stretch, and they can look back on another season where they gave their best effort and put themselves in position to get another NBA championship.
Here's Powell following the three-pointer by San Antonio. There's the pick. Back to Barea. Just 5 to shoot. Laverne grabs the miss. Laverne's got his 7th rebound here tonight.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
It's stolen by Green. Passes it to Laverne. Green against Curry. On the wing, Green. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 11 points a game. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
Really in a good position thanks to the accuracy from beyond.
Green against Curry. They set the pick. Powell with the screen. Curry dishes to Powell. Gay with the block.
You got to respect those long arms of Gay. I mean, superb at swatting shots away with those big hands.
We have a chance now to look at the teams that have created the most points off turnovers this season. In 4th, the Spurs.
They're so aware defensively. I mean, an opportunistic group in terms of forcing miscues and getting out in transition. And boy, do they do a great job of taking advantage.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw, good, Anderson.
And the Mavericks looking to go young now around Nowitzki. Unsurprisingly, they've already found some intriguing young prospects.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Measury. Barnes comes in for McDermott. And Smith subbed in for J.J. Barea. And so he makes both from the line. And for the Mavericks, you look at their young guys, a lot of athleticism, and Greg, an upside already on the roster.
And Mavs fans have to be pleased with what they've done so far. I mean, especially with the selection of Dennis Smith in the draft, who can be a special player at that point guard position. They're making smart moves to kind of revamp this roster.
Here's Parker following the score by Dennis Smith. And Mills kicks to Leonard. Aldridge a screen. Leonard the pass to Aldridge. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got 3 assists tonight.
I love the pace he's playing with, letting his offense come to him naturally and then building upon this lead for his team.
Curry dishes to Barnes. Lets it fly from 18. The shot by Powell, no good.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Here's Leonard. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
And this is who he has become. Leonard with the great body control, takes the hit and still able to sink the shot, and one.
Pau Gasol is checked in for San Antonio. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Nowitzki against Aldridge. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And I'll tell you what, age ain't nothing but a number when you talk about the impact of Dirk Nowitzki. I mean, with his size and shooting touch, he creates so many openings for himself and his teammates offensively.
2 shots. Relax on the first.
And the first one drops. And Nowitzki's turnaround, an unblockable shot when he's hitting. Greg, he's unguardable.
And even though he's lost a little lift in the legs, he's worked hard to kind of quicken his release, and just another tweak for a guy who's made a career of adding layers to his Hall of Fame game.
And so he makes both from the line. There's 45 seconds left to play here in the third. Now here's Mills, guarded by Curry. Aldridge a screen. Left side Gasol. 6 to shoot. Shoots over Powell. No good from Gasol. Mavericks trail by 16. Smith outside. And he makes good on the layup. Smith's got 8 points.
And Smith likes getting close to the rim, a consistent scorer when he's deep inside.
Good looking screen by Gasol. Parker with it. And here's Mills for 3. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. And the Spurs lead by 17. Smith, no good on that last second attempt there. LaMarcus Aldridge has been on display for San Antonio. They've leaned on him for offense, and he hasn't let them down. He's now up to 23 points today. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And now a sneak peek into the huddle with Greg Popovich.
Everybody got to rotate, rebound, there's pace going back. It's attack, attack, attack. That's all it is.
Greg Popovich distilling it down to one simple concept: be aggressive.
And guys, he knows this game so well. When they control momentum, the pace, they're much harder to beat.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. On the wings, Curry and Barnes. Nowitzki is out there with Powell, and it's Smith in at the point. That's the lineup out there for the Mavericks.
Yeah, easy call.
And you might have thought that with the big three retiring and getting older, the San Antonio Spurs might need to think about rebuilding. But the emergence of one Kawhi Leonard as a superstar in the league on both ends of the floor has extended this team's dominance.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
That's good from Barnes. And Tim Duncan retired, as we know, but Kawhi Leonard carrying on that culture of no frills, Brent work and dedication to the game.
Well, there's no better standard bearer than what Kawhi Leonard has represented, but it's been built on the shoulders of Tim Duncan and David Robinson before him. The Spurs continue to go about their business, respecting the game and getting the most out of the ability of the players on the floor.
Now here's Parker. Aldridge a screen. And Mills kicks to Parker. With the teardrop, he takes it up and lays it in.
And he's really redefined the floater. Parker is one of the best in the business.
Right side Matthews. And Gasol sends it back. With some arc. Offensive rebound. Aldridge, the pass to Parker. That one, no good.
You can't miss those kind of looks. The defense seems to be a little nonplussed so far in this one, but he flat out missed it.
And here's Smith. Barnes outside. To the inside. Gasol with the steal. One-on-one here. Here's Aldridge, and he's fouled on the shot. One free throw coming up.
And that's the type of finisher he is. Aldridge takes the contact, but still has the strength and touch to drain the shot. We'll see if he can add to it there at the line.
And Pau Gasol, one of the most skilled 7-footers this league has ever seen. Whether it's the low post, high post, flaring off picks. You want the ball in his hands.
Murray's checked in for Parker.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And Pau Gasol, a very good perimeter shooter, starting to stretch his range out beyond that three-point arc.
Yeah, his face-up game is becoming more and more prominent. Working from that elbow, he's become more of a triple threat. He can shoot it, drive it, and pass at a high level.
And that one's good, Barnes. Here's Mills. Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. Aldridge a screen. Off the pick, and it's Gasol getting it to go.
And don't look now. If there's anything Leonard could improve upon, it's getting his teammates more involved. Exhibit A, that assist.
Now here's Matthews. Here's Barnes. Rebounded by the Spurs. Leonard's got his 5th rebound in this one.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Murray kicks to Mills. He dishes it to Leonard. Over Nowitzki. Another miss by Leonard. Mavericks trail by 20. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Here's Matthews. Here's Powell. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. And with these new player tracking cameras, you see some very interesting numbers. The Spurs, one of the lowest teams in terms of pace and fast break points, and yet they're one of the top teams, Brent, in average speed and distance travel. How do you explain that?
Well, what they do, Kevin, is every time down the court, they set up their offense and they run through their options. And that could be very frustrating for anybody who's trying to defend it. They're waiting within a 24-second shot clock to have 1 or 2 defenders relax, get lazy, and as soon as they do, the Spurs take advantage of it.
He makes 1 of 2 that time. San Antonio leading by 19 points. Over in the corner, Barnes lays it up and banks it in. Barnes has got 9 points now in just the second half.
That's just smart basketball. Ideally, you love for all of your shots to come from that spot.
Murray with it, working on Smith, and stolen by Barnes. Smith outside. Oh, and he's going up for the alley-oop here. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
Clearly a foul.
First free throw is good. If you ever did decide to go into coaching, Brent, would you also like to be the general manager to ensure you have the players that you really want to coach?
Well, I'd also like a new car and a Learjet, Kevin. If I could get those two, I'll try my best. But
I hear you. I know.
I really think that relegating that role to somebody else that you can be on the same page with is the best way to go. It's a fresh set of eyes.
That's the key. I totally agree.
Fresh set of eyes, and they have the time to devote to what your team and your roster is going to need while you make sure you're developing the roster yourself. So I think having a general manager do his job and a coach do his job might be the way that I would prefer to do things, although we've seen other guys have success in both roles.
2 on the clock. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. To the middle. The kick out to Matthews. Dallas again missing.
Well, he made 1 3 in the first half, but he hasn't found a way to connect again from outside during the second.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
The second effort, and there's the nice layup by Barnes. Barnes has got 8 points in the quarter. Now here's Mills. Not a lot of room. Aldridge a screen. Outside Leonard. Over Barnes. And the shot no good, a bit short.
Well executed, great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Well, it's like Thanksgiving out there, carving out space off the screen. Just couldn't complete the play.
Now here's Barnes. To the middle. It's tipped. Nowitzki for 3. Some solid defense from Aldridge. Spurs leading by 13. The 3 from Leonard. Out of bounds. Dallas will take possession. And Rick Carlisle wants a timeout. And Pau Gasol last season playing by far the lowest minutes of his career. Around 25 a game.
Well, that's just how the Spurs disperse the minutes. Again, nobody really pushes up against that 30-minute mark, and so accountability every night to be ready and go out and be effective in the minutes that you get. This isn't a bad thing for Pau at 7 feet. This can extend his career maybe 2 or 3 more seasons.
Nice game. Great performance by LaMarcus Aldridge.
So far, he is just destroying their will. It feels like he can get any shot he wants once he crosses half court.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, I heard Rick Carlisle during that last break talking with the team. He's not satisfied with their effort level. He said, we're not hustling out there, guys. We are not going to win that way. I promise you. We've got to get after it. We'll see how his team responds.
San Antonio's gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the 3-ball here. And Murray now top of the key. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Dallas with the ball. Big run right now going for him, 11-2. Smith drives in. Here's Noel. Off the mark, had a chance to trim it to single digits. Leonard with no one around. And the 3-ball is good. Leonard's got 23.
And that's the versatility Leonard provides this offense, showing the confidence and ability to hit from range.
Smith outside. He feeds it to Noel. And Gasol sends it back. Mills with it. Matthews covering. Murray. Back to Mills for the 3. Good, and Aldridge gets the assist.
Just a little bit off in the first, but he's been anything but that here in the second quarter. Really impressive to see him turn it around like that.
Now here is Smith. The pass to Nowitzki over Aldridge. And the basket by Nowitzki.
Well-coordinated shot mechanics, especially for a guy with his length.
Yeah, he's certainly able to shoot over the top of people. High percentage look right there from the mid-range.
Here's Murray. Shoots from the elbow. Aldridge, no luck. Mavericks trail by 15. Now Matthews feeds to Nowitzki. Pass to Smith. There's a screen by Noel. Here's Matthews. Rejected by Gasol.
Gasol did not stop moving his hands there, especially as the shot was going up. Always going to be right there to send anything back if it's close.
And certainly they are not hesitating, letting it fly from deep here in the second half.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And it's Matthews with the jam.
Yeah, you got to appreciate the mindset of Smith. Solid at running the offense and finding his teammates who are open.
And the replay presented by Under Armour. Unleash chaos, giving us the chance to enjoy that alley-oop all over again. Then Gasol with the dunk.
Okay, 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
That's right. He was ultra safe with that dunk, no question. Seth Curry, he's checked in for Dallas.
One shot.
Free throw drops for Gasol.
I'll throw in the obligatory two-time champion, a remarkable big man, Pau Gasol, who continues to add to his career.
Curry dishes to Smith. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. And Greg Popovich has led the Spurs to the playoffs in all 20 of the full seasons he's coached the team. But you know what, Brent? He always gives his players the credit.
Well, Pop knows that the players are the ones who deserve all of the accolades, but there's no doubt that there's an appreciation for the way that Pop continues to put his team and each member of the team into situations where they collectively can compete every year. And it's not about just competing for the playoffs, Kevin. I'm talking about competing for titles. What a run that Greg Popovich has been on.
Free throw drop for Smith. Parker's checked in for DeJounte Murray. And so he hits both. Spurs leading by 17. Here's Parker. Outside Aldridge. Spurs passing it around. Here's Gasol. And a great assist by Aldridge as that one goes in. And 11 points for Pau Gasol.
Yeah, something Pau has had most of his career is that mid-range shot when he's got enough space. Shoots it with rhythm and confidence, and you got to respect his ability to score the ball from there.
And that's out of bounds. Dallas will retain possession. Smith outside. Here's Curry. And the shot is long. And the Spurs with possession. They're on a 14-6 run. Leonard, the pass to Mills. The three-pointer off the mark.
Nothing seems to be going down for him today.
Curry kicks to Barnes, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Curry.
Some turnovers necessary. That one, not so much.
Spurs leading by 19. Parker dishes to Gasol. It's good. Gasol's got 9 points here in the second half.
Oh, great ball movement there.
And the Mavericks call time here. And Tony Parker in the 2017 season with the lowest minutes per game average in his career. He was playing so well in the playoffs. I mean, historically well. Then, Greg, as we know, the quad injury in the playoffs.
Yeah, and it's pretty clear that that 15-year run he's had as a starter, that window is rapidly closing, but still effective, just no longer the focal point that he once was.
Mavericks trail by 21. Smith the pass to Barnes. Back to Smith. They get a hand on it and stolen by Aldridge. And the foul on Dennis Smith Jr. That's his third foul of the game.
Fouling like that isn't how you get back in the game.
Spurs leading by 21. Now here's Parker. And there's the feed to Leonard. He kicks it to Mills. Gasol, a screen on Curry. Parker outside. Pass to Mills. Gasol, a screen. 5 to shoot. It's Parker with the drive. Noel with the block. It's Curry outside. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Smith's got assist number 11 for him here tonight. San Antonio's gotten off 12 shots from beyond the arc tonight, hitting 7 of them. Leonard against Barnes. Leonard kicks to Parker. Aldridge with a screen on Smith. And again, Pau Gasol. Gasol's got 11 points in the quarter.
Full speed ahead. I mean, they have been in control since the opening tip, and that may have sealed the deal.
I can imagine a lot of things right now, but a comeback, that's not one of them.
Nowitzki, good.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Spurs.
They never settled for mediocre shots.
And Kevin, they had great penetration this time out.
So looking at the season total, this will be their 17th win.
And they've put themselves into the driver's seat in regards to the season series with this team. Tonight's win will give them a 2-1 edge with only one left to play.
And as usual, some excellent work tonight in what was a quality big impact game for Kawhi Leonard.
Just really loved his activity level here tonight. Constantly mixed it up, and he threw himself into a lot of plays.
Now Parker following the three-point attempt by Dennis Smith.
And this is how you close out a game, not taking any chances.
Yeah, you gotta be relentless in this game or the tide can turn on you. Not here, not tonight.
Now here is Smith. And the basket by Curry. So it's San Antonio now.
Get on Parker.
Good looking screen by Gasol. There's the lob to Aldridge. No good from Gasol. And turnovers have been the issue for him.
You can see the coaches have gotten into him a little bit about this. They've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
And he knocks down the first one. Barnes hits them both. Parker with it. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
And that's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Danny, a strong defensive effort both individually and team. Now, how comfortable are you at that end of the floor now, knowing that you can make things tough on the opposition?
Well, we want to make them take tough shots. We're not comfortable at any point defensively, but we got to continue to be active and be aggressive and get our hands on loose balls.
It's been the mark of the Spurs for a long time, Danny. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Brett Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. And we'll see you next time.